A new Canada-China trade deal is sparking a lot of debate. So let's dive right in.
Right away, one Canadian politician issued this pretty dire warning about the whole thing. So Canadian leader Mark Carney called it a strategic partnership. But, critics went straight for the details.
So, what's actually in this deal? Well, it really comes down to two things, EVs and canola.
And here's the nuts and bolts. China's EV tariff? It basically disappears. Canada's canola tariff? Down to 15%.
The big criticism? It feels like Canada gave up its massive auto market for a pretty minor farm deal.
So why are Chinese EVs such a big deal? It's not just about competition, it's how they compete.
The source claims China uses a loop where state money lets their companies sell EVs for basically nothing.
So what does that mean? Well, these companies just aren't playing the same game as everyone else. The fear is this could flood Canada with super cheap EVs, potentially wiping out the entire Canadian auto industry. But critics say there's another way to do this, pointing to a U.S. deal with Taiwan. A massive number here. Taiwan reportedly agreed to invest $500 billion into U.S. chip manufacturing. And that money was split between the government and private companies, a direct shot in the arm for U.S. factories.
So you can see two very different approaches here. One opens the door to imports, the other brings in investment.
Meanwhile, back in Canada, the reaction to the China deal, well, it was fast and it was not pretty.
People started calling them spy cars, worried about cybersecurity and what the U.S. would think. And this anger wasn't just political. The source shows what it calls large citizen protests right in Edmonton. Even a U.S. official weighed in, basically warning Canada that they're gonna regret this deal. Which leaves us with the big question. Is this a brilliant new partnership or a huge mistake for Canada?